Hello everyone, this is Kristin. I work here at the Berlin branch of the Worcester County Library, and today I am delighted to show you how to make a chocolate caramel trifle. First we need to go over our equipment because there is a fair amount of it that you will need. First you will need a very large bowl to make your pudding. You are going to need a 13 by 9 by 2 glass dish, a whisk of any size, set of measuring spoons, fork and a spoon, just in case, a knife to cut your cake, 1 or 2 rubber or silicone spatulas, a bowl large enough to make your cake mix. This is called a trifle bowl, but you can just get any large bowl that you have, glass preferably, and your electric mixer. You will also need some measuring cups. I chose a 2 cup and a 1 cup just to be on the safe side. Now for your ingredients, you're going to need a Duncan Hines box cake mix devil's food. I was only able to find a regular normal size box. The recipe calls for a 9 ounce box cake mix, but I could not find that anywhere. Also, stick with Duncan Hines. I've had a couple of cake decorating people and just other people who like to make cakes tell me use a Duncan Hines cake if you're going to doctor it up, which we are. So, a Duncan Hines Devil's Food Box Cakes Mix. You're gonna need some instant chocolate pudding, 2 small boxes. I believe this is an 8 ounce package of Heath bits. You can get toffee bits, butter brickle, whatever. 4 eggs, some cooking oil for your cake. You're going to use 1 cup milk for your cake. We're adding an extra egg into our cake mix, and we're using milk instead of water. You are going to need a large tub of Cool Whip, 1 jar of this caramel flavored ice cream topping, can of non-stick spray, and 4 cups of milk for your pudding. Alrighty, let's get started. The first thing I like to do when I'm making a cake is I like to put the wet ingredients in first and then the cake mix on top. That way, I don't have to worry about anything being stuck to the bottom. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we're using a Duncan Hines cake mix, and we're gonna doctor it a little. We're gonna add 1 extra egg, and we're going to use milk instead of water. Whatever the measurements were, which this was a cup, for water, you're just gonna use milk. Also, if you would like, you could add a shot of any of those coffee liqueurs, mocha, butter pecan, anything like that. I didn't get that because I didn't want to buy a whole bottle of syrup, but I thought, what's to prevent you from going to Dunkin' Donuts and asking them for a shot of caramel macchiato or something. All right, so here's my oil going in. It was 1/3 of a cup. That's what was called for. I'm adding my eggs next. 2, 3, 4, take out any shells. Alrighty, and I am now going to add the milk. I'm going to stir that around just a little. Try to break up those yolks. They don't all have to be broken up. It's just that I like to swish it around just a little. You're going to open your cake mix. I'm going to use my knife to open my cake mix because I can't pull that apart. Now, I also, before I put that electric mixer in, I like to do this so I don't have cake powder flying everywhere when I put the electric mixer to it. All right, you're going to beat for 2 minutes on medium speed. All right, I'm coming up on the 2-minute mark here. Here's something my mother told me I should do. I don't know why, but I just do it. She said, turn your bowl as you're mixing. And I can tell just from mixing it from the 1 minute to the 2-minute mark, this batter is more dense. It's thicker. So now I know kind of why they say a certain amount of minutes. Alrighty. Take that off so I don't drip these everywhere. You should not be licking those beaters, though we all would love to do it because there is raw egg in there. Alrighty. Here's your cake batter. Nice and smooth. The next step is going to be to turn it out into this glass dish. You should either grease or put some cooking spray on the inside of your pan. I just do the bottom, and then I take my hands and go around the sides. That way I'm not getting cooking spray all over the kitchen or myself. I mean, that's just something you're gonna have to clean up later. Alrighty. That's done. You're gonna take your bowl. You're going to tip it and gently scrape out all your batter into your pan. Just right in the same place. You don't have to try to distribute it because you can do that later. This is a silicone scraper or spatula I'm using. I really like them. It really gets all the stuff out of your bowl. Alrighty. Now, there it is. You can see it's pretty much distributed. You can do this, give it a little tap. You see there's a little bubble coming up. That's air bubbles. You can do that a couple times. I'm going to do it until the air bubble pops. There we go. Now, you're going to put that in a 350-degree oven for 26 to 31 minutes. I set it for 28 minutes, and then I start checking it. Your knife inserted in the center should come out clean. Good to go. Now, while your cake is baking, you're going to want to make your pudding. It's just 2 of the small boxes of instant chocolate pudding. This is 4 cups of milk. I measured that out. You're going to add this, and I recommend that you start whisking it as you pour that in. That way, it's easily distributed. You're not getting puffs of pudding powder on you. You just whisk that around until you feel confident that all of it is dissolved. And I used the biggest bowl that I could because I haven't made pudding in a while, but I know it takes up a lot of room in the bowl. It gets smaller, it seems, as it sets up and cools. But you can see that's starting to thicken already. Perfect. Once you're finished, you're just going to pop that in the fridge. It'll be set up in about, 5 to 10 minutes. which I will do right now. Alrighty, welcome back. You can see our cake is out. I have cut it into cubes. I have started putting the cubes down here in the bottom as the base. Remember, this was a larger cake than what was called for in the recipe, so I'm just going to use what I need. I cut just in cubes. I used a ruler, really. I just kind of eyeballed it and used a ruler. They're supposed to be about an inch. All right, so I made a bottom layer, and it asks for you to try not to have too many spaces. And I thought, well, these are cubes, and this is a round dish, so I guess I'm going to be using other pieces, smaller pieces. All right, now, here's your pudding. Here's your extra cake. Here's your Heath Bar bits or toffee bits. Here's our Cool Whip. Here's our ice cream topping. Now, you can put this in any fashion that you want, but I think I would like to start with the pudding first. Then I'm going to put caramel sauce on. Then I'm going to put Cool Whip on. See, here's our pudding. And I'm not going to try to smooth it, because I'm going to try to make it fancy looking. That may or may not work. All right, tiny bit more. All right, there's a layer of that. Now, this I was worried I was not going to be able to use well, because I thought it was like regular caramel. It's not, it's like a caramel sauce. So this can pour right out of this jar. All right, a nice healthy dollop of that. All right, then I am going to Cool Whip. Some peaks on it, maybe. Now, from my side, it looks pretty nice. A nice layered cake. Now I just cut the edge off of these toffee bits. And you're only making 2 layers, I believe, so you can be pretty generous with that. Now I'm going to take the rest of my cubes. Whoops. I'm going to put these a little closer. And I've got some other cubes in here. I have a little tiny cube. Okay. So now I'm going to go back with my pudding. going to go ahead and I'm going to put on some the Trifle bits. Just reserve some for the top sprinkle, or whatever you want. You can put nuts on the top if you'd like. I like the top to be kind of smooth, that way. Like a frosted cake, I guess. Crushed up Heath bars on the top. And then you're just going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. It has to be at least an hour. You can have it overnight, but at least 1 hour. I will see you in 1 hour. Alrighty, here's our trifle. This is an actual trifle bowl, and it has a detachable bottom. So you can use this for other things, but you can see how nice it looks. Some people make theirs fancier. I'm not that good at it yet. I like to take the remaining portion of my caramel sauce, which has been in the refrigerator, and I like to drizzle or put some on the top. Like that. And then you need a spoon long enough to get in there, but I guess you only need to get down through one layer. Here is the first bit. I'm going to go down further to get some cake. And there is your chocolate caramel trifle dessert in honor of Caramel Day, which is April 5th. Enjoy your April 5th trifle. Thank you for viewing today's program. If you would like to see more programs, please look us up at worcestercountylibrary.org or follow us on Facebook. Enjoy.